Hey guys, it's your boy. I hope everyone's doing well. Just finished my World Championship qualifiers, and we're in, boys. So I'm just gonna go through some of the games, and hopefully you guys enjoy. I got like maybe 6 or 7 wins and then 1 loss. All right, so yeah, we're gonna show off all these games and just get right into it. So I just want you guys to know the 2 decks that I ran. The one that we're going into right now, the first kind of section of this is going to be one video, and that's going to be entirely about pure Spright. I don't know why, but pure Spright felt a lot more fun to run than any other deck, so I just preferred to run pure Spright. I don't know why. So the next half was in fact with Tearlaments, the scummiest deck of them all. I had to do it because if you're not running Tearlament, you're running Tearlament hate, and I'm really just trying to have fun with the deck. So I had to mirror match a lot of people, but I'll show those in the second video. So for now, I'm just gonna kind of go through the first half. First half was really easy, honestly. I was going against a lot of like stun decks, a lot of negation, or like, I don't know, heavy Tearlament hate decks, which made it really easy for me to climb because I ran a light Tearlament hate package. Like, I mean, I had DD Crow, for example, and imperms, and you know, the typical stuff that you'd have evenly matched, but I tried to focus more heavily on fighting the other decks because I realized that if you're running a lot of Tearlament hate, you're probably not running a lot of good protection cards. So I ran a lot more. I ran into a lot more chances like this where I could just run an evenly match and win a game. So you guys are gonna see a couple games like that, but I mean, I don't know if I even want to show this game. It's just a 1-turn game, I guess, but these are just showing you. I won like, I think 6 in a row, so this is all in a row. I like won 6 or 7 games, and then I lost my last game against Tearlament, and that's what made me switch up. So sadly, I mean, there's only so much you can do against that deck. It's pretty broken, and I really think it needs to be nerfed. Oh my god, okay, then I'm sorry about showing this game. Yeah, this wasn't even this doesn't even, so yeah, there's like 6 games to show, so yeah, it wasn't anything crazy, you know. The season has really brought out the worst in people. They're either playing Tearlaments or they're running Tearlament hate. And if you can run a deck that deals decently against Tearlament hate, which is Spright, for me, I mean, for other people it's different decks, but I don't know, it's not that hard. I think Floundries is a good example of another deck. I think I destroyed a couple of Floundries. Oh wow, what's the chances? Okay, so yeah, you imperm Floundries anytime they normal summon. You can pretty much destroy the deck off of a normal summon. So that's another good thing about Spright. You can run so many hand traps that they can't really play. That and the fact that you only need 2 cards to get to an OTK potential is really just insane. So we drew into starter, which we didn't really need because blue would have gotten us there if we had drawn into another monster. But now we can combo off. I'm not really going to go into the combo too much. I'm just going to try to get as much damage as possible, and then I guess I didn't do my math right here, but it was close, and then he evenly matched me. So I mean, it doesn't really matter. As you guys can see, it's like you guys can run the Tearlament as much as you want, but it really doesn't affect other decks, which is kind of unfortunate. This deck, this meta is just brought out like, I don't know, wild season, I guess. It's just a wild season. Anyways, we're just gonna send Swap Frog. We're gonna send a Ronin Totem will summon, making Masquerena. This is a nice 2-card combo for Masquerena. Like we said, we just needed 2 cards to combo off, and Imperm stops their combo by itself, so that's why we're kind of not worried about the 800 damage that we left over. Off rip, we can just get a monster negate too in case they somehow draw into back row hate. And this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example. Look at this. He draws Fissure, Necro Valley, but he needs a starter. Like, his problem is that he can't deal with my deck because he's focused so heavily on Tearlament. So that's kind of the main reason that I ran this deck. You guys can see what I mean. Is it scummy? Yes, it's very scummy. But is it a way to win? Yes. I don't know if I'm gonna run Tearlament in the World Champion, but we'll see. Tearlament has just been kind of one of those decks that I really, you can only play Tearlament against Tearlament, but at the same time, it's really not a fun deck to play. So yeah, that's another free game against another Flounderies deck. And you know, if you guys want the secret sauce to winning in the the WCS World Champion Series, you just have to run a deck that deals with the hate well. So I might run back into Labyrinth eventually, especially if the World Championship is just full of Tearlament. This is gonna be the easiest World Championship. I mean, seriously, like this is gonna be, you know, Defissure, Soul Drain all the way. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens. I don't know. You guys give me your takes on what you think about this season. I'm kind of over it already. I learned the deck and I realized, wow, it's just broken. It is broken. Like, that's kind of all there is to really know. So now, I mean, I think this is a pretty good hand. Let's see who we're playing. We got Monster Negate, Spell Negate, a Summon, and then another Summon. So we'll see what we can do against Tearlament. So the main thing that I would do, like when I was playing Tearlament, what I would do is I would make sure to activate all my graveyard effects before they get any millers into the grave. So right now, for example, they activated Scream, but they don't have anything in the grave, so I activated Elf early. Like, you usually wouldn't want to activate Elf this early, but I don't want them to mill whatever I'm gonna summon, so I just summon it so I can get another card in my hand. And as you can see, there they go, already sending a miller. So I want to deal with that as soon as possible, because otherwise all these cards in the grave are just going to be useless. I make a Unicorn because I don't want him to be able to summon a level 4 play off of this and then make a Scream. So like they're going to have another mill 3 off of another summon of a Tearlament name, since they haven't even normal summoned yet. So we're going to just try to deal with as many of the monsters level 4s as possible. And then hopefully we can negate this spell with our carrot, is the plan. Also, we have 2 DD Crow, which is really useful, so we can negate the monster in the graveyard. So now, pretty much we're stopping all the effects. We negated the spell, and we stopped the fusion summon from the graveyard with a DD Crow. That is one nice thing about a Spright, you get the hand traps. If you don't get the hand traps, then you're probably have a pretty good board. So he's gonna be able to get Dugerous out. Dugerous is so good for this deck. You can just go ahead and draw 2, send a Tearlament name, add Reinhardt back to the hand, and then yeah, you can just go into Reinhardt's effect, sending another Tear name so you can fusion summon. But we will stop that with our second DD Crow. So this is another example where you have to really exhaust all your resources. The good thing is we have 2 cards, so we'd be able to go into full combo if he stops here. He's going into a Danger Engine, which actually might be pretty good with Tearlaments because you send the cards to the graveyard, but not sure if I would enjoy it. We draw into Ash, which is an interesting choice. I just kept Ash because I didn't want him to surge into anything later on. For example, if you got another Scream or something, he would be able to surge, so I wanted to stop that. And we top deck Swap Frog, which I don't know how he surrendered off of that, but I would have been able to use Starter. Starter would have been able to go blue, Jet, and then we would have been able to go full combo again. So that would have been an OTK, actually, believe it or not. And I think I've shown it before, so if you guys haven't seen that, make sure to go look out for those. They're pretty cool. Yeah, that is that game. Now we're going to go on to game number 4, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I'm sure that the videos that you guys are wanting is Labyrinth. I'm gonna come out with Labyrinth stuff soon. I need the season to change, because I cannot top like, you know, I can't get like 6 or 7 wins in a row with Labyrinth right now, because I'm just going against too many inconsistent decks, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like getting consistent wins, and, you know, right now I'm getting those with Spright, which is not a fun deck to do that on. I mean, it is fun to feel like you're winning against Tearlament, but against every other deck, it's like, I know I'm taking 10 minutes, I know. I just want to make a board that's kind of hard for, you know, Tearlaments to handle. I think I have a pretty good hand here though. It's pretty decent in my opinion. We got a spell negate, got a summon, monster negate, got Ash, Effect Veiler, DD Crow, another summon. It's pretty good. Going against branded Tearlament. We just go ahead and DD Crow the Tearlament Reinhardt before it can be used. And then we Effect Veiler the Fall in the Baobab, so he can't use his effect. And that is actually how you beat a tier. I don't know what tier that would be, but that's how you beat old tier and new tier. You just stop the effects before they even happen. Spright is good at that. The hand traps plus having good monster negates on the board is just so beautiful. So yeah, that's another good game against Tearlament, I guess. I mean, it's not really going to count as a Tearlament game, but you guys can see why DD Crow is useful. Just sending one Tearlament in, they'll have to either use a Miller and like negate their own effect, or they'll have to let you banish one of their Tearlament names, which is really nice. Yeah, we play Cyber Sign. If you guys are curious, we do play Cyber Sign. Sometimes it comes up, sometimes it doesn't. When it does, it hits hard though. And we get to go into our full level 2 plays. Plus we have a spell trap negate. This is what we like to call destructive envoy. Gigantic. We'll go into our swap frog. Swap frog does our 2-card combo into Elf and then into Masquerade. Very nice. Go ahead and do that, and we're going to do it over Nataria's summon so that Nataria is not able to be targeted because of Elf's effect. Your opponent can target monsters that are instant, so now Nataria and Masquerade can't be targeted. We have Max C, and that means that we might be able to draw into another starter, so, or even maybe a hand trap too. Sadly, so Nataria is a really good card, but if he has the one-off normal tribute summon, that's pretty brutal. And then we're going against Branded, so he gets sent his Fallen Valbaz with this new Branded and High Spirits card that's been added recently. We go against another fusion deployment, which he chains. Okay, he's just chaining everything. He chained the Branded in red so that he can fusion summon the Masquerader so that he can attack. Pretty much that he can make enough damage to kill me. And this Masquerader would be really, really rough. It would be really rough. Okay, because look at our HP. We're at 1800 because of our Exterior Beast, and we're also lower because of our Spright starter. But he's playing through Max C. So if he keeps going, then he's gonna lose essentially all of it. Okay, wait a minute. Oh my god! I did not remember this game. What the fuck? Okay, I'm so sorry about excuse my language. I'm sorry. I was like, how did I win? How did I survive? And then, okay, and then we summoned, so I guess we summoned Underworld Goddess using Tax Dragon. I was like, how did we survive Tax Dragon with only 600 HP? I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh man, and he gets Alabir. We still have the Spright Red negate and we have a monster negate, so now he can't use Fallen of Albaz, and this is a graveyard thing. Oh my god, it was so bad for a second. Oh man, I was like, wait a minute. What the hell is this? Oh man. Oh man. Anyways, he summons Fallen of Albaz, Alabir, and we still have our Spright Red negate. He's mad probably. That was something I forgot. I was just 600 HP by the way, so one more effect away from losing. I was like, why did I show this game? Yeah, we can't even use starter anymore. It's crazy. Masquerade gets negated because of Underworld Goddess, and then we summon Spright Carrot first because now we can negate the trap that he searched. So yeah, I always like to have Spright Carrot and Red because once you negate one of the traps and one of the monsters, it's usually GGEZ on almost any deck. So yeah, that's that. We got one more game, and then it's the final game that made me switch to Tearlament. So yeah, I hope you guys understand. This is not, this is not the best deck right now. Not even close. Not even, I don't know. I like it. It's still fun for me. But it definitely can play against Tearlament if you get good hands. Not like the best hands, you don't even need to have the best hands. You just need to get like at least 2 DD Crows would be nice, or like an Imperm and a DD Crow would be nice. But I will send this deck list out if you guys are interested in seeing what's the contents are. I will be posting on the Master Duel Weekly soon enough, and I'll also be doing that with my Tearlaments deck, but that one is the same as everyone else's. So you guys might be interested to see what I'm teching in. It's not really anything special. A couple more DD Crow and Imperm, you know, that'll be. Anyways, this is a kind of oppressive board. We have 2 dark monsters, so we can go into our monster negate, Genie Buster. And then we also have our Masquerena. Masquerena will be able to spin back. We have 2 monster negates, a spin, or a summon really, and then we have another summon, an Imperm negate, and a banish, an Omni banish, and then 1 more negate. It's like 4 negates, and then 3 summons, or 2 summons. So he goes ahead and he's going to use this card to normal summon a monster. I wanted to use my monster negate on whatever monster he summoned, but I didn't want to use any of the monsters on the field, so I used Elf to summon back Frog, so Frog could use its effect. But he negated that, so instead I just stopped him from adding the card by using Smashers to banish Jet, or Elf, because Elf has already been used this turn. So now he can go ahead and tribute my monster. He uses this card, tribute it, and then he summons using my Masquerena, so I can no longer summon another monster. He destroys my other monsters so that I no longer have a level 2 for a negate. And this would be usually a pretty bad situation for a lot of decks once they break a lot of your board, but thankfully we have another Elf, and the Elf will be able to summon from the graveyard a blue or a Jet and go right back into full combo. So we had 3 negates really. I did DD Crow, Infect Failure, Imperm, and then we would have been going into full combo, plus grabbing a Gamma Burst, and ending the game right there on the spot. So last game, the game that made me switch up, the reason that Tearlaments broken, this game was long. This game was, I don't remember anything about this game, okay? I remember some things about each of the other games, but not all of it. This game, I don't even remember any of it. It was just so long. Oh, I remember it now. It was so bad. Okay, look at this. So we're going second against Tearlament, the most unfun deck in the game now for everyone. But everyone plays it. Totally. Right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's fun. I mean, not for me, but they send, look at this. So I want you guys to know I would have won this game if he didn't send both this. If he didn't send both Gamma Burst and Smashers. But he starts off with a window. He gets Kick Callous. He gets all 3 traps. So I have to go ahead and evenly match. We love to have evenly match. Having 3 of them was kind of rough, but he negates, crimed it. Alright. He sends Fairy Tale Snow, so now he can, you know, mill and be annoying again. I evenly match again, so we can play, right? We can play, we can do stuff. No, Winda is still a monster negate. We can't use Windas. We can't summon because of Winda. So now I needed to wait pretty much to use this starter so that I could summon the monster negate, but I couldn't use the monster negate until I pretty much waited until he did something to see which one I needed. But I needed both. I didn't realize I needed this. I needed the monster negate right away, and then I needed the spell trap negate after. I needed this right now. But he's already able to go into his fusion name, so I can still negate this effect. So no, he won't be able to fusion summon, but he still has a monster in the graveyard. So whenever he does fusion summon, that's just material to do it with. So I essentially have to end this game ASAP. ASAP is the motivation right now. I need it. He summons Fairy Tale Snow, and check this out, 1800, Fairy Tale Snow 1850. That was brutal for me, I'm not gonna lie. But look what it led to, another evenly match. So all 3 of them came up in this game, and I still lost. Kind of rough. Kind of rough. I think I misplayed a little bit too. I mean, this is all, there's not much I can do. I summoned Qualifiers, got Ronin Totem, and then I went into blue to get as many of my monsters as possible. But looking in my graveyard, I realized there's not a lot I can even really attack with, so I have to pretty much put all my money into like, for example, if I wanted to get my Jet, like my one Jet is in the graveyard already, but my Gamma Burst is in here and my Smashers is already in the graveyard, so I can't really put those back in my deck. which is really, in my opinion, one of the most broken parts of this deck. Like, why are they taking my deck? I don't know. I can't OTK because they put the Smashers in the graveyard pretty much, and the Gamma Burst, but I can at least destroy the window so that I can special summon again, because window is also making it so I couldn't special summon even my red. We can go into Gigantic, but I think I was already done with Gigantic because I already used my entire Spright engine, so we just go into Elf, and lo and behold, there's not a lot we can do. He still has another Shuffler inside the deck, inside of the graveyard, so he can pull a fast one on me, getting rid of both my Swap Frogs, or both my Froggies. I still have a monster negate though, so in this position, as long as he only summoned one monster, I can still do something. So here, I can still negate like whatever monster he sends. For example, I'm just going to do the same thing. I can still negate that monster's effect. So we're going to go ahead and summon Blue. Blue could get us a monster, so this is like a missed activation timing. As I summon Blue, he gets turn activation, so he gets to send, and then he also gets to activate his monster's effect before I get to activate mine. So if I activate the Blue effect here, I won't be able to negate their monster effect, but because I can't activate its Blue's effect, I go -1 on this monster summon, because I'm not going to be able to summon, like, he's sending that monster already. That monster is going to give him material in the graveyard. This is just me taking it out of the graveyard to put it back in the graveyard. I'm not gaining anything out of Elf's effect, which is kind of why it's -1. Oh, and because Elf is 2 monsters, you have to use 2 monsters to get to it. And also now it's gone, so that's kind of yeah. If I had the monster's activation there, I guess a better play would have been to, I don't know, if there was a way to fix that activation timing right there, I could have won this game pretty much. If I could have gotten 2 monsters right now. If you guys have any ideas in the comments, please let me know. But that was like one of the most dank ways to mess up one monster summon, because now I have to use my Ash as my second monster to get my Spright Elf back, and Spright Elf will go back into Blue. But Blue's searching is giving me, you see, like, now I would have had 2 monsters, so this would have been just 1 monster closer to being enough. But sadly we can't do that. We have to go into Gigantic because we couldn't beat over them, because we can't search Gamma Burst because it's already been used. And since Gigantic has a Link monster as a material, it's 3200, so we can use this to beat over Tearlaments Reinhardt. And then now we can go back into Swap Frog, so at least Swap Frog is usable. However, I think we've already used Masquerena, so Masquerena can't even be used this turn. So, see, this is what I mean. Like, if I had 1 more monster in this situation because of that summon, it would have been GG probably. This is like 200. How much is this off? Like 1,600, which is just enough. No, not enough, but you'll see. You'll see. This game was a long game. We summon another Swap Frog, and if we look in our extra deck, we could have gone into Masquerena, but both of our elves are inside of the graveyard, so without an elf, Masquerena is kind of just not going to serve its purpose correctly. We don't have Blink 4 material. And then he top decked his Planet Pathfinder, so I'm kind of relying on the fact that he won't be able to mill 3 useful cards. He instantly uses this to put 3 monsters back in his deck that he can use, and that'll let him destroy Gigantic, which was our main way to search monsters next turn, because now we need a different way to search into level 2s. So without a way to get into Elf and go back into our graveyard, we can't really go into Blue for extra monsters, or Gigantic for that matter, because we don't have any extra level 2s besides for this. This is a XYZ 2, so it's a rank 2. It's not the same. We can link off into Masquerena still, though. Maybe it would have been better to link off into Masquerena earlier, but I don't know. There's not a lot you can do in this position. And this is what I was saying, where I was like, maybe it would have been enough, because as you guys can see, I was only 200 damage off. 200 damage off from winning this game. So we're right there already, and I made it because Zeus. Zeus with only 2 materials, so 1 pop. And Masquerena can spin back. But this is only useful if I can... But the only link 3 I have is Unicorn, so... If I go into Unicorn, I need a monster in the hand, otherwise I won't be able to send a card back. So right now my main play is a Zeus Wipe, but the Zeus Wipe will give him a fusion monster because he has Tearlaments inside of the graveyard. So right now I have to wait until the best moment to pop, and that moment never occurs because the second that a card gets shuffled into the deck, Planet Pathfinder will pop a card. So even though he has a window, like this window doesn't matter. He goes into Draco's Tapelia, doesn't matter because he's just popping Zeus. Zeus will go ahead, wipes the board, but sadly that doesn't mean anything because the negate, well, even the Masquer, okay, so he negated me, and the Masquerena spin, well, this was a long game. So the Masquerena spin, essentially would protect the Zeus from being negated because it'll take it off of the board, and that doesn't matter because Tearlaments Scream has not used its second effect, the fusion summon, so he'll still be able to fusion summon and to kick Kalos off Preto Plant being sent to the graveyard, which is insane. So we still make the link 3 even though it doesn't actually make us send a card. If we had one more card in our hand, we could have spun back Sheeran here, and that would have been GG. That would have been really nice, but it did not lead to that. Instead, he normal summons Medora, which is insane. And then you get DD Crow. So yeah, that was game. That was it. I mean, it went a while because, you know, we're kind of out of cards at this point. But the only card that would bring me back in this game would be like a starter. I knew this, like I would need a starter, or Nimble Beaver was literally the card I was saying I needed, Nimble Beaver. But there's no way. I mean, so yeah, it was unfortunate. 200 HP off of the mark. I'm sure there was a way for me to win this too. It was so close, so close. But after that, I was like, you know, I feel like I'm trying so hard, and all he did was just summon. Like I was sitting here like trying to read every single thing that, and he's just like summoning and going crazy, and I'm like, screw it, bro. I gotta mirror match these guys. There's no way. So that'll lead me to my next video when I get there. So yeah, that was kind of the way that I got up to the rating. I think I got up to the 19th rating, like up to it with pure Spright, and then after that I kind of switched. Let me show you guys the deck really quick. Pure Spright 1. I'll put in the Master Duel weekly if you guys don't want to come back here, but this is the idea. This is kind of where we went towards with the deck. Ratios could be maybe fixed. I don't really know. I'm not a professional gamer. I just do this for fun. So, you know, I think it's a lot of I think it's a lot more fun, and I think it's a lot better than fighting just with pure Tearlament hate, because I can actually play against the other decks, and that's kind of why I come onto this game to play it. So, yeah, I'm not coming to play against the mirror. I want to play against other fun decks. So, you know, this is the idea. Cyberstein's in, we only have one target for it. It's just for fun, you know, like there's not that many targets. I didn't even know who else I could target for Cyberstein. If you guys have any other options for Cyberstein, let me know, because hey, I can take out access code. I never run into this, but thank the Lord Underworld Goddess came in clutch that one game. Shout out to you guys for watching. If you're this far in, I appreciate you. Make sure you go and watch my other videos. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm going to be posting a ton of other videos. Well, not like a ton, but maybe like 6 or 7 other videos of the best. Those were the best games that I played up in the World Champion. Those are the games that I saved. And yeah, if I didn't do any commentary for them. If you guys want it, I can give it out. But it's not really like anything crazy. I just thought it was really good, or really funny, or really lucky, or something. So if you guys want to check those games out, it would, you know, mean a lot to me. They're definitely by far better than the games that I just shown. So yeah, feel free to watch them. I'm done for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. For those of you who stuck around to the end, I appreciate you guys. You're the best. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Adios.